What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 4 of the F1 22 Road to GOAT driver career here for the Spanish Grand Prix. It is an absolute scorching sun that sits over the circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia, in stark contrast to weather we experienced last time out in Australia for the 4th round of the 2022 Formula 1 World Championship. It should be a very exciting one here today, as it was in the last episode. Make sure to go check that one out before you see this one. There'll be the card in the top right hand corner of your screen now, so make sure to go check that one out for any potential spoilers before you see this one. There's your Drivers' Championship on the left-hand side of your screen. Charles Leclerc leads the way by 9 points to Sergio Perez, with Verstappen back there in 3rd. We start from 18th on the grid, once again out qualifying our teammate Alexander Albon, so it's 2-all in terms of qualifying for this season. And there's Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, starting from 5th, looking for his first win of the season and Mercedes' first win of the season, to see if he can pull it off. In terms of strategy for the race today, we're looking at a simple one-stop going from mediums to hards. I did have a bit of a toss-up as to whether to try and risk a two-stop, but I didn't quite think it would work in this case. Of course, we've gone for the one-stop so far each time. Of course, it didn't quite pay off for us last week in Australia. Of course, the late puncture forcing an end to our race with a lap and a half to go. But hopefully we won't have any dramas like that this week, as we get ready now for the start of the race itself. 5 red lights for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix, Episode 4 of the F1 22 Road to GOAT career. Lights out, foot to the floor and we're away. Poor getaway compared to Stroll on the left-hand side. We're going to fall down to P19. Albon right there behind us. We charge towards the first corner on this open lap. We're going to get a decent toe of Stroll here and try and make a move from both Aston Martins at turn 1. Try and get up to P17. Bit of a tap there on Stroll's back right tyre. The inside of Magnussen as we enter the first corner. We've managed to get both the Aston Martins, despite a warning for a collision with Stroll. We'll get away with it through turn number 3 now. That long sweeping right-hander alongside Magnussen in his Haas there. We have to try and get a run and try and outbrake him into turn number 4 to try and get P6 off him. He's going to have the lead over us going into the entry of the corner. And midway through it, we're still alongside him. We're going to get clear of him off the corner. And that's move on to Bottas, our next target. We've got to go right on the brakes there to avoid slamming into the back of his Alfa Romeo. We've gone way over the curb there in order to try and get past him. He's still alongside us, so it didn't quite work. Going towards turn 7 for the first time. He's a nose in front as we get into the corner. A bit of a squiggly moment there through the turn. And now out of turn 8 and towards the blind. We're out of turn 9. He's just in front of us. We're going to try and wing it around the outside here. We've actually made it work. That's a brilliant overtake to get us up into P15 in this race. So brilliant start. Gained 3 places in the opening lap or so. Pushing on to lap number 2 now. Mick Schumacher and the other Haas on next time. We've got Magnussen. Can we get Schumi as well? Yes, we can. Go to the inside. A bit of contact there. A bit way more than I would have intended. But we managed to get away with it. But Schumacher still alongside us. It's going to be a bit of a repeat here. Deja vu as we make our way into turn 7 for the second time. Schumacher there on the outside. We're going to get the run underneath him and move him into P14. So again, another place gain on our rampage towards the front as we try and score some points in this race to make up for last time out. There's Gasly and Leclerc battling well, front row seat for this one. There's Esteban Ocon front of him. He's got a bit of trouble with the car. We had a great battle with him last time out in Australia, so it's unfortunate to see him falling through the pack, but hopefully he can recover. We've gained another place regardless, though. We're up into P13 now as Leclerc continues his surge towards the front after the grid penalty he received earlier on in the race weekend. Gasly, our next target now. DRS now deployed to begin lap number 7 this race. We're going to try and pull alongside with the camera. You're really trying to get close enough. The straight line speed in this Williams has really improved since the start of the season. We're going to try and go to the inside, but switch back at the last moment and try and wing it around the outside for turn 1. On the exit of turn 2, we're going to get the jump over him and into P12 and chasing down Guan Yu Zhou and the other Alfa Romeo for P11. So it's been a great start to this Grand Prix early on. We push on to lap number 8 of this Grand Prix and we're still chasing down Zhou for that 11th spot. About a second behind him here. Let's try and get on the DRS if we can. And Gasly pulls into the pitch just behind us, so at the end of his soft tyre run to kick off this race. So we've got a bit less threat behind us now. Schumacher 2 seconds behind us. Who has focused completely on catching the Alfa Romeo. Let's move on to lap number 10 now. We've got yellow, and that's Yuki Tsunoda there on the right-hand side of your screen, who's spun out the exit of turn number 2, and there's a massive train wreck caused behind us. Not quite sure what's happened. There's a lot of cars stopped on the track at the exit of turn 2, and the safety car has been deployed. Bottas is out of the session. I think that's Alex Albon as well. It is our teammate out of the race, and that's very unfortunate. Not quite sure what's happened here. Tsunoda's got a 5-second penalty. I'm assuming he was the cause of that collision, but the safety car is out for the first time today, and we've got to make a quick change here to our strategy. Change onto those hard tyres a bit earlier than expected. I think everyone's thinking the exact same thing as they come into the pit lane, ourselves and Guan Yu Zhou for the first time. Let's get on the pit limiter once again. We're getting better at this over the last course, the last few races. Yet to get a penalty, which is always a good thing so far. We're going to try and keep that record going for as long as we can. There is Mick Schumacher behind us in the Haas as we come into the pit lane, making a change onto hard tyres. Hopefully be a good stop from our Williams crew to get us out back where we were in P11 as we gained a place after Tsunoda spinning out. Tsunoda keeps on going in this race. He didn't have too much damage with it, or any at all, despite being shunted by Bottas. So let's have a look. We'll have to have a look at the replay as to what's happened, because we went past this at the last possible moment and before it actually started happening. So Tsunoda must have rejoin the track in somewhere. Let's have a look at things from Tsunoda's perspective as he makes his way through the first couple of corners. So here is the Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri through turn 1. It looks like he loses him all by himself in turn number 2. It's a very nice pirouette there as he comes back onto the racing side, and Schumacher gets away with it. Bottas is just unlucky to be caught there, and it looks like Albon just runs right into the back of Vettel, who got caught up behind the Finn, and it looks like Magnussen may have also gotten a piece of that, but he's still okay. Sorry, he wasn't okay to carry on with the race. Here's Bottas' perspective right there behind Schumacher. See, Schumacher narrowly avoids it, but Bottas is completely caught out, and as is Albon, just doesn't stop. And it looks like, yeah, so, sorry, I believe Magnussen is still going, to my knowledge. I thought he was out of the race, but that's on me. But Vettel's definitely still going, but it's unfortunate for him to be caught up in that. Safety car now coming to an end. We're there in P11. Look at Fernando Alonso there in second place at his home Grand Prix. And Carlos Sainz in P4. The Spanish fans must really be loving this. Us, meanwhile, we're just there outside of the points in P11. And looking to try and make this work. Of course, think about how close we were last time to points in Australia before the puncture came and ruined our race in the last couple of laps. Hopefully that won't be the same case today. We've gone into these hard tyres a bit earlier than expected, but hopefully we can try and push and score some points. I reckon Joe is perfectly passable here on this restart if we can get him. But that last corner has always been a struggle for me on the F1 games. Let's see what he can do now. Joe's had a brilliant pull away compared to us, so he's really going to get away from us as we come towards the line to get back underway here for racing on lap number 14. We've got 20 laps to go in this Spanish Grand Prix, so let's see what he can do. Back underway now. Guan Yu Zhou, our first target. See if we can get him as quickly as we can. Coming on to the end of lap number 14 now. Ocon into the pits behind us, so one less car to worry about. Gasly's now on mediums. He's back into P13, so he's done brilliantly since his first stop. Guan Yu Zhou is our target though in front of us on the chase, and look to the inside and try to switch back like we did with Gasly into turn 1. It's very tight. We went a bit deeper than expected. We've managed to get in front of him though, and for the first time since Australia we're back up into the points paying places, but for how long? We've got a bit wide there through turn 3, so Zhou could try and take advantage of that and go on the insides, make our way towards the braking zone once again. He's on our inside and there's contact, and around we go, and that's not all we wanted to happen. That was not at all the plan going through turn number 4 there. We've managed to keep the car going, no damage. We've lost 5 places there, and that really puts us down the order. It puts us back in P16 with only Ocon behind us there, 22 seconds up behind us thanks to his pit stop. But all of a sudden we now have a lot of work to do in order to actually get so much of a sniff of the points paying places. On to that number 17 now. It took us a few laps to catch back up. We gained another place thanks to Alonso coming into the pit, so his time in second place being short-lived. And Stroll is our first target in our little comeback drive. They're going to pull to the inside from a long way back into turn 1. Really had to put on the stoppers there. We've managed to get away with it though, and up into P14, so it's a couple more places away now. Alonso's stop really helped us, and pushing on, a couple more cars came into the pits, one of them being Sergio Perez there in the Red Bull, the Mexican Minister of Defense, has really put on the offensive skills in order to make it past us here. Here we come now through turn 7, there goes Vettel, and he's lost the car right there in front of us. That was a scary moment from Sebastian Vettel, who could have put us out of the race there. We could have joined our teammate Alex Albon in the DNFs. And there he is, spinning right in front of us. That was a very scary moment. If we'd been any closer, that might have been either front wing damage or our race just over. So very fortunate we managed to keep behind him. And we're now up into P11. So 1 spot away from the points once again. Our little comeback drive is complete. It's taken us about 10 laps or so. So it's brilliant stuff here. Pushing on to the end of lap number 27, the start of 28. Perez right there behind us on those medium tyres, which will definitely go to the end of the race. Will he try and catch us though? Tsunoda's our target in front. Of course, he's part of the reason why our teammate's out of the race. We're going to try and get some revenge in a way and try and score some points if we can. And Mick Schumacher, we passed him earlier on lap 2 of the race. He's managed to get his way back in front of us thanks to our little incident. And going to lap 29, I'm going to try and go for the inside of Tsunoda into the corner. We're going to back out at the last moment though. I'm just thinking of what happened with Zhou. Of course, we don't want to go for a late move and sacrifice our chances of anything in this Grand Prix even further. So I don't want to go back to come back again. So we'll keep behind him for the time being, but that might just be our undoing, unfortunately, as we push on to the end of lap number 29. We're still challenging Tsunoda, but we're making mistakes left, right, and centre. These tyres are really getting towards the end of their lifespan. We may have pushed him a bit too much, getting back through the order, and saying right on the limit here, just trying to keep up with them as much as we can. We've gone way too deep there into the right-hander over the yellow curb and struggling to keep control of the car. We've gone way too deep into the final chicane as well. Perez looking for an opportunity. The Mexican all over the back of our gearbox, trying to make something happen as it goes on to lap number 30. And this should be an easy move for Perez down the main straight. The Red Bull a lot faster than our car. And there goes charging up past us on the right-hand side. And that might just be any chances of us taking points over, which we're not going to give up yet. We're going to try and keep with them as much as we can. We've fallen into P12. If we can stay close to Perez, we might be able to try and take advantage late on and sneak into the points paying places. I just have to see what happens here in the last couple of laps as we make our way on to lap number 32, the penultimate lap of this race. We've got a yellow flag in front of us, and that is Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo. It's going to be a double retirement for the Alphas as he makes his way over to the right-hand side of the track. An internal failure putting him out of the race and putting Perez up into the points. We're now just one place away, but there's a lot. Fernando Alonso in the Alpine right behind us. He managed to fight his way through the field, and he's right behind us, looking to try and sneak some points of his own if he can. As we push on now to the last lap of the Grand Prix, it's looking more and more unlikely that we'll actually score. And Alonso now our main concern. Let's try and keep him behind us as we start the final lap. We're going to force him all the way down to the right-hand side of the track, see if we can hold him off in that way. But he's got the DRS, and he's got a lot more battery than we do. And into turn 1, there goes the Alonso, making his way through into turn 1 and up into our P11. And that might just about be it for us. But further up front, it's going to be Carlos Sainz. The Spanish fans absolutely loving this. It's going to be Sainz's first career victory in Formula 1. And what better place for him to earn it than his home race. Carlos Sainz takes his first win of the season here at Barcelona. And it's going to be the two Mercedes cars that follow him home to take P2 and P3. And it's going to be us who come to the line in P12. A comeback drive that was so very nearly on the cards. But that wait for points is going to go on just a little bit longer. But still a brilliant race nonetheless. And I'm really looking forward to the next one.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A real team effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So, being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls, gentle on the tyres, that's where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
So there we have it then. Carlos Sainz takes his first career win at the Spanish Grand Prix. Hamilton comes home in second and Russell in third as Sainz lifts the trophy to the sounds of the Spanish fans in the grandstands. And all in all, just a brilliantly enjoyable race from start to finish. Normally I don't have much fun with Spain, but I really did enjoy this one. It was an absolute thriller. I'm looking forward to come back here next season. One of the more exciting races in the four we've had so far. Like I say, very nearly points on the cards, but couldn't quite pull it off. But hopefully we can carry that momentum into the next few races and try and challenge for points down the lines.
Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula 1.
So there is your final results for the Spanish Grand Prix. Sainz first, Hamilton second, Russell third, Leclerc fourth, Verstappen fifth, Norris sixth, Ricciardo seventh, Schumacher eighth, Tsunoda ninth, Perez 10th, Alonso 11th, and we come home in 12th, a full 30 seconds behind Sainz at the top of the times. A great race. I really had fun during that one, like I said. Of course, the points very nearly happened again, but it became a lot closer this time than we did last time in the end, given the puncture earlier on. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, it's changed a bit. Verstappen and Perez falling down the table. Sainz and Hamilton now into second and third, but Leclerc still leads the way now by 11 points over his Spanish teammate, and that'll definitely help Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. They pull away by 25 points now to Red Bull, and Mercedes just 10 points off the Bulls in third place. We still sit there in ninth. Us and Aston Martin still yet to score you with them. But that, you guys, is the end of the video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe. There's the breakdown of a rivalry with our new rival, Sebastian Vettel. Be sure to challenge him in the next few races. As I say, make sure to like, share and subscribe. And with that, you guys, I shall see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.